Now we're going to tell the time to the half hour on an analog clock. So we were used to telling the time by the hour, but now we have to look at the long minute hand. So remember that this is what an analog clock looks like, something that you could hang on your wall and you have to use the numbers to read the time. So in our past 2 videos, we were looking at the minute hand and it was always at the 12. So remember when it pointed to the 12, the minutes were 0, 0. But now we're going to look how the minute hand can also move around like the hour hand. So the new words that we're learning in this math lesson are called half past. So let's look at the hour hand to see what it's half past, what time is half past. So the hour hand is pointing in the middle of 10 to 11. But whenever this happens, you're going to look at the number that comes before. So on a clock, the time or the number that comes before is the 10. So we're going to say this analog clock is showing us half past 10. An analog clock can show time to the half hour. A half hour is 30 minutes. So we haven't talked about this before, but for the minute hand goes from 0 or 1 all the way to 60. The reason why that it goes to 60 is because 60 minutes are in 1 hour. So the way that we can read the clock with the minutes is every time you jump up to the next number, it's actually 5. Do you guys see those small tiny lines over there? So if we were to count the small tiny lines, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why it says 5 minutes right here. And if we keep on going to the next number, which is 2, we're going to get to 10 minutes. So we're at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 minutes right there. So if we were to count every single little tiny line to where the blue minute hand is, it's going to tell us 30. And the hour hand, now let's focus on the hour. The hour hand is the shorter hand. And remember, let's see where it goes. So it doesn't touch the 4 directly and it doesn't go to the 5 directly, but when it's in between 2 numbers, we're going to go to the number that comes before on a clock. The number that comes before is the 4. Okay, so with all that information, the time is, it is half past 4, or with numbers, we can say it's 4:30. So this is a little tricky, so we'll take our time and we're going to try our best telling the time to the half hour. So for question number 2, or 1 and 2, we need to tell what time is shown. Then it says write the time. So for right now, we're not going to look at the numbers. We're going to look at how we can tell the time using the words half past. Okay. So for everything that we're doing today, the minute hand is always going to point at the 6. So let's focus on the short red hand. Okay, we're gonna go and see what number it points to for the hour hand. It's not touching exactly on the 9 or the 10, so we're going to go to the number that came first, which is 9. The clock is showing half past 9. Okay, like I said before, we know that the minute hand is staying the same because we're practicing how to tell the time to the half hour. So we need to look at the hour hand to see what half past 1 or is it half past 2. So let's go all the way to the end of the clock. It doesn't touch a number, right? So we need to go on the number that comes before. That is number 1. It's half past 1. And right now, I want to take a look at the bigger clock, so maybe we can get a better sense of how the clock looks when we're telling the time to the half hour. So right now it's 6 o'clock, so let's change that. The minute hand is going to go to the 6 to represent that 30 minutes have passed. The minute hand is going to the 6 and it's staying there for what we're doing. Do you see how the minute hand is pointing to the 6, but on the outside it says 30? Because that represents 30 minutes. So let's see. If we look at our clock right now, it is 6:30. It's not touching exactly the 6 or the 7, but we know that when this happens, you just look at the number that comes before, which is a 6. Let's see how 8:30 looks. So I'm going to move the clock to go to 8:30. 8:30. The minute hand is staying on the 6 for 30 minutes. And the hour hand is right in the middle, but that means the number before is 8. We can either say 8:30 or half past 8. Let's look at what half past 9 looks like. So let me move the clock. Oh, let me go back a little. Ooh. Sorry guys, my mouse is going a little crazy. Okay, there we go. 9:30. It is half past 9. Let's do one more. Let's see what half past 11 looks like. So right here it should say 11:30. Okay, I hope my mouse doesn't go crazy again. Oh, there, perfect. Okay, 11:30. Minute hand stays on the 6, representing 30 minutes. Have to look at what the hour hand is pointing at. Remember, it's going to point at the middle, but you go to the number that comes before, which is 11. Half past 11. I'm going to move the screen. Let's do these 4 questions together. 4 more. So half past, we need to look at the hour. What number comes first on the clock? Is it 6 or 7? It is 6. Half past 6. Okay, our hand is pointing between 3 and 4. What number comes before? 3 does. So half past 3. So question number 5. So look where the hour hand is pointing, which is the shorter hand. It's in between 10 and 11. What number comes before 10? Half past 10. Last one. Let's look at the hour hand. It's pointing in between the 2 and the 3. 2 comes before, so it's half past 2.